Hey everybody, and welcome to Chat with Kat. I had a video earlier that I took down, so I wanted to come back and talk to you again. So here I am. I've had a really interesting week and I wanted to share some thoughts with you. So I'm going to start with this past Tuesday where I had two great events back to back. The first was at the University of Miami, where I was invited by my friend, Dr. David McMillan, who is a professor there. And I was a judge for a project that his students are doing. Can't say much about it, but it was really amazing to be a part of this judging process because it was the first time ever that I was a judge. I've always been in situations where I'm being judged. So it was really interesting for me, and I actually was a little meaner than I thought I'd be when I was doing the judging process. So yeah, that was interesting to go into a situation thinking one thing and then actually doing something else. Regardless, that's one lesson that I learned, and the other one that I would say that whole situation taught me was that I have valuable opinions and I have valuable insights, and I don't have to ever think otherwise just because some people might have more accomplishments than me. So that was really cool to get out of that situation with that mindset. Then that same day, I went on a call with this girl, Jasmine, that I met through the guy that is one of the members of the Toastmasters group that I'm a part of. And she invited me to speak to her organization called the Sunnyside Soul Tribe. If you haven't heard of them, please look them up. They are incredible. They have meetings twice a month on the second and last Tuesday of every month, and they discuss different things that might affect your mental health and how to cope with it. And this past Tuesday, which was the 29th of October, they had me come on to talk about my journey with egoism and self-love and where I was in certain parts of my life and where I am today with it. And I was a little worried about talking about this because I'm not usually a very vulnerable person. I try to live up to everyone's expectations of Cat Girl and what that entails. And this was just a very stripped down, honest conversation. And it really meant a lot to me to not only get positive feedback from all that were on the call, but just to come to the realization that I don't have to put on a show. I don't have to be Cat Girl. I can be me and still make the same impact and still have the same inspiration to those that are listening to my words. So that was life changing for me. And I'm going to seek more opportunities from now on where I can be in a vulnerable state and really show people who I am and what I've been through and the journey that I've been on. And that's what I'm going to be transitioning more into doing. Not leaving Cat Girl behind. I never will. She is so important to me that I literally think of her as a real person. So that's not what's happening, but I do believe that I can make serious positive impact in society by just being me. And that was also reiterated the following day by, again, my friend Adolfo, that is a part of Toastmasters, that introduced me to Jasmine and the Sunnyside Soul Tribe. And he and I were talking about that whole journey that I've taken as an advocate and how I still sometimes second guess my power. And he was like, you had everyone in the palm of your hand last night with what you did and who you are, and don't ever doubt that you are an incredible speaker and that you have an incredible story to tell. So that really just kind of like solidified, like, Catherine, you got to do it. You got to go out there and show people who you really are. So stay tuned for hopefully more opportunities where I will be doing some public speaking in those types of scenarios where I share my personal story. What else? Oh, and then the following day after that, I got a call I received an email from a production company that I had done a voiceover for them and the Disability Rights Florida organization back in July about early voting by mail for people with disabilities and how important it is to do this and have that option. And that video came out and it was wonderful, and I'm so grateful to have been a part of it, that they actually invited me back to do a different video for a different organization who, unfortunately, after they heard my voiceover, did not like what I did. And my first thought was to give into that negative voice inside of me that says, well, that's it. You're not good enough. You didn't make it. They didn't like what you did. Blah, 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 blah. Until I remembered all that I had learned Tuesday and Wednesday about how impactful my point of view is, my life experiences, and that I am in the right line of work. So I decided not to give in to that little voice, and I instead went to Walgreens and I picked up a Lite-Brite, and for 2 days I made several different designs, which I'm sure you guys all saw, so because I posted many of them. And that just goes to show that we don't have to give in to that negative voice. We can fight against it through our creativity or through whatever makes us feel at peace or at ease. I also went to the beach and just looked at the beautiful ocean. That always helps me get a positive mindset. What else? Oh, and today I went to an event called Adventure for All Day, held by the city of Coral Gables. It's a wonderful event that I've participated in the last 4 years, and it helps people with disabilities live more inclusive lives. There's a lot of exhibitors with resources, and there's games, and there's a sensory section, there's food, anything that you can imagine is there. And this was the first time in the 4 years that I participated that they had me in a different section. Instead of me having my own table, I had to share space with another organization that was giving away books. Now, you can imagine me as an author, and I'm there to sell my books, how this was a little bit of a struggle at first, because obviously people that are dealing with the inflation and dealing with economic financial issues are going to go for the free book as opposed to the one to buy. So this again made me feel a little defeated at first, until I decided to not give in to that little voice, and I decided whatever happens while I'm here. And that's when things started to change. That's when people started noticing my books and valuing them, and I ended up selling more than I had set out to sell. So that was really great. And yeah, I'm just really happy with how things are going for me lately, and I just wanted to share that with all of you, that you might have those moments of self-doubt or self-defeat, and it's really up to you to change your mindset, whether it takes going out and getting a toy from your childhood, or a walk along the ocean, or listening to your favorite band, whatever it is, journaling, singing, dancing, basketball, whatever. Find what makes you change your perception from something negative to something positive. So that's what I wanted to share with all of you, and I hope you guys have a great night, and I will talk to you tomorrow after I go to Sabrina Beach Day. Bye.